It's Friday, December 29, and time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Nothing but a failure. That's how outspoken chairman of the Barbados Private Sector Association, Charles Herbert, has graded the performance of the Frundle-Stewart administration. In a frank assessment, Herbert was adamant that nothing was achieved, citing a long list of woes. He's peeved that the ongoing sewage problems on the South Coast are yet to be fixed and the economy is still in a downward spiral. Herbert lamented that the government has not implemented recommendations to remedy prevailing economic ills and there is still no recovery plan in place. He is also upset that income tax and value-added tax returns have still not been paid. The private sector official maintains that 2017 has been a terrible year for Barbados, and just as the controversial National Social Responsibility Levy failed to meet its objectives, only causing pain, so too did the government. There is a call for the Ministry of Health to order a temporary shutdown of fast food outlets, restaurants and guest accommodations directly affected by the worsening sewage crisis on the South Coast. It's coming from community activist Adrian Donovan, who admits that such a move will be painful but necessary under the circumstances. Recently, Health Minister John Boyce gave the assurance that food handlers were being constantly updated on the best techniques, but Donovan, who lives on the South Coast, questioned whether it was healthy to allow the public to eat at establishments in the area.
The Ministry of Health should put out notices and serve directives on some of these properties. Some of these fast food restaurants need to be closed. Some of these apartment buildings need to be shut up. And there need to be some caution tape advising the tourists where to walk, where not to walk, and something has to be done urgently. This talk is not helping the situation at all. People will have to be, we're going to use disempose, people are going to have to be made uncomfortable, but as the Chairman said, it's a national crisis, and he's correct. Everything has gone past a national crisis now. It is catastrophic. It's a time bomb ready to explode. And Peron Village, I want to know if the authorities have been in Peron Village. I want to know.
The number of vehicular accidents this year, mainly due to drivers losing control, has resulted in a steep rise in the number of road fatalities. That's according to the Barbados Fire Service, which is reporting a 22.4% increase in road accidents as of December 27 when compared to the same period last year. According to statistics by the BFS, there's been 93 motor vehicle accidents so far this year compared to 76 last year. Up to December 6, there were 24 fatal accidents resulting in 27 road deaths, nearly 3 times the 10 fatalities for all of 2016. In a recap of the year, the acting chief fire officer, Ricardo Gittings, told Barbados Today there was a 15% increase in electrical fires as well as an 8.5% rise in false alarm with malicious intent when compared to 2016. Fires of various kinds, he said, increased slightly from 1,773 for all of last year to 1,780 so far this year, while there was a drastic fall in derelict house fires, down from 13 last year to only 2 so far this year, and 8 fires to commercial buildings when compared to 13 last year. Now, while the number of vehicular accidents rose, the number of motor vehicle fires dropped from 49 last year to 41 this year. Sugarcane blazes were down from 41 in 2016 to 37 this year, and tree fires fell to 13 compared to 23 the previous year. In sports, the futures of former CONCACAF bosses Jack Warner and Jeffrey Webb are likely to be decided next month, with both scheduled to face the courts for crucial rulings. The Caribbean officials are at various stages of the legal process. Webb is expected to know the length of his prison sentence when he faces the U.S. court in late January. The former Cayman Islands Football Association leader pleaded guilty to racketeering conspiracy, 3 counts of wire fraud conspiracy, and 3 counts of money laundering conspiracy. Webb, who is currently under house arrest in the U.S., has seen his sentence delayed 5 times. Warner is currently fighting extradition from Trinidad and Tobago, where an appeal against the local court's decision to uphold the legality of the extradition request will be held next month. Warner is facing fraud and money laundering charges related to 2 decades of his vice presidency at the world governing body.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from the region now, St. Lucia's Royal Police Force bid farewell to its longest-serving head of state, Dame Paulette Louise, in a special ceremony. Last week, the island's first female Governor-General announced that she would demit office on December 31. She held that post for the past 20 years. We get more in this report from HTS News Force.
An all-female parade convened at the police training school at Latok on Thursday. The parade was the brainchild of Top Cop Severin Mosheri, who stated to the media that based on the close relationship the RSLPF has had with Dame Paulette Louise, it was only fitting that they acknowledge her contributions to the nation in this way. But there was a twist to this parade, in that it was led by Assistant Police Commissioner Frances Henry, one of the few women to have reached so far in the hierarchy of the police force. Mosheri says the idea of an all-female platoon was conceptualized in light of the fact that Dame Paulette is the first female head of state in St. Lucia's history. In addition, the police commissioner notes that the Governor-General is a big fan of parades, activities which in her capacity require her presence at least 3 times in 1 year. As a farewell gift, Dame Paulette was handed a photograph of the all-female platoon on parade.
Keep it up. I'll probably be watching you from the sidelines in the future, so that when I look at you again at Independence, perhaps, I will see 29 ladies gracing the parade ground.
On the international scene, forecasters warn that the deep freeze will continue into the start of 2018 as the bitter cold continues to blanket the northern United States and Canada. Weather officials say that higher winds are pushing temperatures even further down, and they are warning people to take measures to prevent frostbite and hypothermia by bundling up in layers of warm clothing. Forecasters added that any exposed skin can become frostbitten in less than 30 minutes. And that's news and sports. But for the very latest, visit our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay and supermarkets at gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.